New banner is coming to Arknights. You do not want to miss this banner. This banner, this banner is really good. And we're going to talk about all these units right here and give you the breakdown on why you want to roll on this banner. If you have the resources, if you haven't went completely insane and used everything inside of the event that happened for the other characters, Scotty and them. But let's talk about this banner and why it's so good. So, okay, Mare. Now, this character, she's probably the outlier of the banner. She definitely has some uses. She's a support character, so she's gonna have some specific uses that you can use her for. She's gonna be the character that basically she sets down like these otters, and these otters are going to be inflicting attack speed debuffs and stuff like that. Pretty cool. However, the problem that the really like main issue that people have with them is like these otters count as like a deployment. Like you can't deploy another character, so as many as you have out there, they actually counts for the characters, and that means that's less units you can have. You can summon up to 5. Well, if they're all out there, then you can't have another character out there. So just keep that in mind when you get this character, that's going to be a setback, a drawback for actually using the character, is that she really can't have other units out there when you're using the otter. It sort of like sets you back. But the thing that she has is really nice that she's able to do that. She's also dealing magic damage as well, and she has the ability to do 1 stun on her skill 2, which isn't bad as well. But those otters are really good. The attack speed debuff, you can set them in different areas and stuff like that. So it's really good to like cover multiple, like a lot of ground as far as just having one unit in the range that they could cover, because her range is, she's right there. So it's like, you want to have like more range than like what she can cover by herself, and the otters is really the thing that's going to be doing the slowdown for you and stuff like that. So you want to keep that in mind. So like I said, she's the outlier, but she can do her stuff. So just keep her in mind. Keep her in mind. If you get her, don't leave her there. Definitely use her. But she's going to be for a specific case. Now, Lapland is a character. So this character is a guard, right? So this character attack steals speed, special abilities for 1 second, and attack steals the target special abilities for 2 seconds. She's basically stealing the target's abilities, which is nuts. This character is stealing abilities of the characters, which is kind of crazy. She's a debuff character. She's also doing stuff like that. So her S2, right, her skill 2, attack 60%, change damage type to magical damage. Attack an additional target, ranges no longer reduces attack automatic activation. So when you use this skill, you're basically changing your attack to magic damage. So she's a damage dealer, like a physical damage dealer, but she's able to change to magic damage. So she could cover 2 roles for a second with their ability. It's kind of crazy. And she attacks additional targets, which range attacks no longer reduce the attack, which is so nuts. And it's an automatic activation on top of that. So she's going to be able to, like I said, attack additional targets. Range attacks no longer reduce the attack. That's kind of crazy that she's able to do that. And her activation lasts for like 15 seconds. So really long, and it's an auto trigger that she's able to do it. The problem that you can sort of see with that, the only problem lies is like it's an auto activation for it, but it's still really good. Usually for like something like that, you'll want to save it for like the big tanks or whatever, but it's still pretty good. She has some other really cool things too, like she could perform like range attacks at like 80% power. She's very strong source of like melee damage, guys. The steals they could be very useful against like exploding enemies for sure against exploding enemy, and stun attacks for sure. And she could be her S1, she could be a sub tank, because attack 30% and 20% chance to block physical damage with an infinite duration. So yeah, that she could definitely be like a sub tank with those. Now for the skills you mainly want to use, I personally like the S2 more. I think the S2 is a little bit better. Huge magic damage, and it like hits 2 targets. But like you're gonna want to scale this thing up because of like the uptime. You want to have more uptime. There's not that much uptime, so like up here you're gonna be getting 20 seconds, 17 seconds over here, and of course your attack gonna go up. But the duration is what you're really looking for here. So you definitely want to look for those when you're looking for her. You want to definitely put some work into actually upgrading her skills. That's going to be very important for her. Now, Silence. Boy, this is a unit, and I actually don't have this character. So I want this character very bad. Now, if you've been playing the game, of course, you should know that you should have that ticket that allowed you to basically pick a unit. And if this wasn't one of the units you picked, she was definitely one of the favorites. I personally picked Project Red because I liked her like special utility kit. It's like how specific it was. It's not something you're going to be using for every stage, but it's something specific that really helped me out in the early game, stuff like that. And it helps me out now too. But Silence is definitely a really good healer. She's freaking good. So basically what happens where, first of all, when you first put her down, she's giving everybody attack boost. It's not big. It's a small attack speed boost. My bad. Attack speed boost. So that's definitely a thing. Now, her thing that she's mainly known for is her drones, right? So when you put her out there, obtain a healing drone, able to store up to 1 drone. Drones all heal nearby allies after being deployed and self-destruct after 10 seconds. So what happens, right? She's a solo target healer. But when you put the drone down, you can place it wherever you want, pretty much. You see the area like where it's going to cover. And after you put it down, it's going to heal everybody in the area rapidly for 10 seconds and then go away. And then you got the cooldown of it. And then once it comes back, you can just do it again. And it's like, it's an extra stack of healing. So like, you know, if you need like a little bit of healing, like another area or something's happening, you can just put a drone, even though she's not covering that area. Maybe your other healer can't handle what's happening over there. You can just put that over there, and you don't have to like run a third healer. You could probably run whatever you want and have the drone act as a third healer for the moment that stuff is happening that you gotta cover. Like it's really good and very strategic that she can do that. It's really freaking good. Like the drone is so good. A lot of people use it. The heal drone, it costs like DP to place, but like it's very cheap, so you don't have to worry about that. As you can see, it's going to cost you some DP to actually put it down, but it's so worth it. So this character is definitely worth your pick. Also, like Mirror, we were talking about, the healing drones don't take up deploy slots, so you can actually put them out even though you're maxed out on like where you're putting things. So you can put it out and you don't have to worry about it like taking up a spot of like, oh, okay, now I can't put a unit here. No, you don't have to worry about that because the drone acts as its own separate entity, which is very good. All right, next is Ifrit. Oh, Ifrit. This character is amazing. Okay, so she's going to be a caster. She's a caster. She's a AoE mage, as we can see. This unit, boy, AoE debuffer. This character is going to be reducing magic resistance, as you see as you level her up, more magic resistance. On top of that, she can recover additional 2 SP for every 6 seconds. That's ridiculous. That's an E1 right there. And on top of that, her skills, man. She can inflict defense down. She does magic damage, obviously. And then she can burn on top of that. And this stores up for 2 charges. So it stores up, so it's always there. And then when the enemy comes by, it happens. Inflicting defense down. Then you're going to be doing magic resistance down. Defense down, magic resistance down. And burning them all at the same time. That's freaking ridiculous right there. That's actually really crazy. She has like her S2s and S3s are both good. Her S3 is amazing too. Deals 75% magic damage to enemies within attack range every second and inflict -7 magic resistance. She does lose a little bit of health when she does it, but it's a very good skill on top of that as well. I will say most people probably pick her S2 more though, but you can definitely use her S3 though. It's not bad. You lose a lot of life, like probably like sometimes I think there's like 30 to 40% almost. It's kind of crazy, but you know, if you can find a spot to use it, it's not bad. But most people want to pick the consistent choice, which is usually her S2, which is usually the go-to. Now, the problem with little Ifrit here is her attack range is a straight line. So unless you have an area where you can like really use her, it's sort of hard to find like the maps that she can't be used on, because some maps just don't offer the spot that she can cover. Just because if you see her range here, it goes straight. Now it does go up from her E1, but it's definitely still just a straight line. Unfortunately, that's just what she does. But like I said, if you can find that range she's good at, boy is she good. Like I said, you can't go wrong with magic resistance and a burn and defense reduction. Like it's a lot of good debuffs there, along with some solid magic damage to boot. So she's definitely really good. Now, of course, the real breadwinner here, of course, is, I don't even know how to say his name, Alja Freyla? However y'all say her name. However, y'all let me know down in the comments below. However y'all say that name. However you say her name. Anyway, she gains SP as soon as you deploy her. Her S2 is very consistent on top of damage. Her S3 is a boss killer. This thing is amazing. Look at this range. Do you see this? Look at this range. This is a skill right here. This is a skill. Attack plus 55%. Increase attack range. Greatly reduce attack interval. Minus 1.1 seconds. Attack by firing lava randomly at up to 3 enemies within range. This attack kills things. It's very good. I done seen it like it is very good like versus like as far as I saw it's good like versus bosses and stuff too. She's definitely like a very cheap AoE damage option compared to like other AoE casters as well, so you definitely have that going for her. She just have some really good things. Her S2, like I said, is pretty consistent damage. The next attacks deal 240% magic damage with enemies nearby the target receiving half the damage. Additionally, inflict minus 10% magic resistance to all targets for 6 seconds and can hold 1 charge. So it's a charge hold skill, and it does a little bit of debuffing on top of massive damage. You can't go wrong with that skill for sure. This character is absolutely amazing when it comes to that. Now, like I said, her S3 is very good. It's good for killing bosses and like big mobs. It does have a long cooldown though. I believe it's like an 80-second. Is it 80 seconds? It's a pretty long cooldown. 80 SP. 80 SP is what I remember it being. Something like that. But yeah, this character is very good. She's definitely don't want to slack on this character for sure. Yeah, SP cost is that. Initial SP is 30. So yeah, 80 SP cost for that skill. So it's definitely pretty long, but this thing hurts. It hurts a lot. It definitely hurts bosses and mobs. You definitely want to go and save that skill for them. Like I said, this whole banner is really good. You have big AoE right here with some debuffs. You have debuff monster right here with more magic damage. Very good character. Silence, very good healer. You can't go wrong with this healer. The drone is absolutely really good. You can place it, like I said, place it anywhere you want. She's solo target healing, so she's going to be doing massive healing to one unit, and then you're putting the drones down to basically act as an AoE unit on top of that can cover spots that you weren't able to basically cover yourself. You have Lapland here, who's going to be doing 120% of that attack, changing her attack to magic damage, and she no longer will be getting a attack reduction when she's doing range attacks. So definitely very pretty good there. And Mir, like I said, the outlier, but she got some very specific use that you can use. The otters are going to be reducing how many characters you can put out at a time, but they're still doing that job of doing the speed reduction. So if you need that, definitely these otters they aren't no joke. So yeah, that's this banner. Like I said, I personally, if you were going to be aiming for some characters in this banner, if you were aiming to get anyone, if you had to like, if you had 110 roll and it was like, this is what you want, this is what you want to look for, I would personally say within that 10 roll, you would want, I would say, Silence and Goat Girl, who name I can't pronounce. I would definitely say these two are the biggest ones that you want for sure. These characters are really good, and I think these two definitely are like defining units as far as the game right now. Really good healer, and then a really good DPS debuffer that in the form of a mage. So you definitely get both of those. Two very good characters. Boss killer plus a really good healer. You can't ask for more right now, especially where we are in the game. Anyway, just want to talk to you guys about what the banner's looking like, what you should look for inside of these banners, why are these characters pretty good, and why is this banner something you should not miss. Do not miss this banner. If you got currency, at least do a 10 roll. I know you guys are probably waiting for your Shin. I know I'm waiting for Shin too. But at least you gotta try one. You gotta try one 10 roll. I'm telling you, these units are very good. If you don't have these units, try to get the units inside this banner. Especially Goat Girl and Silence if you haven't picked Silence for your ticket. Anyway, guys, if you like anything I had to say, drop me a like. I greatly appreciate it. And if you want to hear more from me, follow me on my socials. Also, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you know the next video goes live. As always, my name is Daikin, and I'll see y'all next time. Signing out.